Hello again, everybody. We are back. We are happy to be back. We are shooting another video today. It's going to be
After
about,
such good feedback over
Yes.
the first one.
and that is why. That is why we're actually shooting another one. We're really thankful for everything you guys got out of this. We got a lot of positive feedback, a lot of great comments about it, and a lot of people came to us and said that it helped them out. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
So we decided to kind of make this a regular thing. We'll do some more topics, some more videos going forward. Specifically today, this video is going to be about your job, your work environment, and, you know, letting go of that fear of possibly leaving a job that you've been thinking about doing for some time. I think that when you talk about leaving your job or quitting your job, it's usually a very negative thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of
100%.
people will view it as that. So for me personally, I've had my fair share of jobs, and I've left a lot of them, to be honest. And that may be viewed as not such a great thing. It may be a negative on your resume. But for me, I view it as a positive. I actually have a lot of experience in different industries because of
Yeah.
that. But I wasn't leaving jobs because of wanting more experience somewhere else. I was leaving jobs mainly because of the physical toll a lot of jobs that I had would take on me.
Which is the purpose of this video.
Exactly. And that's
Getting people to like kickstart themselves into the right direction.
exactly,
for their
because
own well-being.
a lot of times when you're in a job, it may affect you to the point, I know for me, it affected me to the point where I would get physically sick.
Every week for like what? 4 months?
Probably like
3
4 months.
straight?
This is a few jobs that I've had. The stress, the general unhappiness of being in that job. It sucked.
It takes a physical toll on him, whereas me, I was super upset all the time because I felt like I was doing my best, but I wasn't being recognized for doing my best.
And that's a big piece of this.
And I think a lot of people can relate to that, where they feel like they're putting so much effort into a job they're so passionate about and not being recognized for that.
So there's the physical, which I touch on when it comes to how you feel, like how you physically feel, possibly sick. Like stress may actually make you sick.
And the mental.
And the
which
mental
is
and emotional.
where you feel drained, and it's no longer something you look forward to going to because unfortunately you create the scenario that it's going to be a relapse of the day prior to.
When you're going there every day, you like you don't want to, you regret it that you're going to work every day because it's just not a positive environment. It's not a place where you feel appreciated. That's a really big key to this, is appreciation
And
in
I
your
think
workplace.
that's like not only in the workplace, it's like everywhere you go. You always want to have that structured boundary of wanting to be appreciated by the people you surround yourself with. He's gonna go.
Okay. All right. I choked on my coffee. I'm sorry.
Like I'm saying before I was rudely interrupted, you want to have the boundaries of needing to be respected and appreciated everywhere you go, because if you don't, and especially in my experience, when you let that guard down where you create no expectations in your workplace, you get treated way worse than you want to.
Absolutely.
And because you set no boundaries on that, it's okay, because those people were never aware of you need to be appreciated, you need to be respected, you're not somebody below them, you're equal to them.
So a lot of jobs I had was upper management.
Yeah.
And one thing I would always want to do is to connect with the people who were below me. Nobody is.
He has this gift. You guys have no idea. He's just a vibe.
Thank
If he was like my manager,
I was at one point. I was actually.
sleeping with the manager.
But that was always an important thing to me, was connecting with the people that I worked with. Even though my title might have been above them, you have to connect and form that team atmosphere.
Literally what I'm saying. Like,
And
Equals.
Exactly. But the people that were above me, I didn't feel that with.
Which is okay.
It is okay.
Which is okay.
It is, but it's more. It goes a step further. It was the respect level, the appreciation. Like when you know you're working your tail off in your job, and you don't feel appreciated. For me personally, it physically took a toll on me. Physically, did not want to go to work. I physically would get sick because it would stress me out, or the work environment would stress me out. I legitimately would get sick.
That experience happens to everyone in different forms.
Yeah, so I was gonna actually
Are you getting
allude.
to that?
I was gonna allude to that. Is that
Okay.
you may not experience it physically, but you may experience it in the mental or emotional side of it.
Yeah.
You may not actually get sick, but it takes a toll on you emotionally. It takes a toll on you mentally. And I think the biggest thing in this video is you have to try to make the best of every situation, yes, especially when it comes to your job. There is a certain point where you have to say enough is enough, and you can't be afraid of that stigma that you're going to be quitting
You're
your job.
leaving and you're less of a person
You
because
are not.
you're leaving.
You are actually
Yeah.
more. I actually praise
Right.
those that are strong enough to leave their jobs in search for something more, because if you're not feeling appreciated, I don't care how much money you make at your job. If you're not feeling appreciated, in my opinion, is not worth it.
People will have that block where, oh, but I'm making money. It's okay. It doesn't matter. We're at the complete opposite. We don't care how much money we're making. If there are not standards that are being reached, it doesn't matter.
I'll take happiness over money in a work environment any day.
Hell yeah. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, for the kids at home.
Heck yeah.
When I think of a job, money is an important factor, but it's as far as maintaining that job, that's the last thing I'm thinking about, because I feel like there's so many other more important aspects. And if you're not like that, that is okay.
We're not
personally,
judging.
yeah,
We just
there's
have
no
different
judgment.
experience.
I just don't, legitimately, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But if you're coming from a place like, I make all this money, it may not be the best work environment, but it's, you know, what I can do with my money makes me happy, blah, blah, blah. If there's other avenues that you take with your money because you're making so much of it, and you still go on daily life and you're great and you're loving your life, that's
power
okay.
to them because
Yes.
they're able to disassociate. Is that the right word?
That is,
disassociate?
yes.
Your emotional and physical well-being to that job. Like, you're just
Yes,
looking at
yes.
it as an object that you need to put your daily life into.
It's hard for me and her personally to do that, because if I'm having a really bad day, and like I said, I don't have bad days. I have good days and I have great days. That's it. When I'm in a bad work environment, it could turn into a bad day. And that I don't like that. I don't like that my job can affect my day.
We're also super passionate about the things that we put our life into, because we always say time is like important
Yes.
to us, and we want to
And
spend our time
yes.
wisely.
The huge chunk of your week, it should be spent in a place where you feel, in my opinion, and these are just our opinions, it should be spent in a place where you feel appreciated, loved, respected, and your work doesn't go unnoticed.
And you're putting your head on your pillow at night knowing that the people you're surrounding yourself with appreciate you.
Yes.
And they take into consideration all your hard work you do, and it's not just being a pawn to their own business. It's being something much more than that.
An integral
You're not a pawn,
part.
you're a part.
You're a part. You're not a pawn, you're a part. Here we go. Hey, I'm going to give her the freaking thing again on the video. Never be afraid to take that leap into another job, possibly. If you've thought about it, if you have those thoughts, my advice would be to really write down a list. And this is good just for a lot of things in life, not just a job, thinking about leaving a job. The pros and cons of that job. Great. It gives you good money. It gives you
and if
security.
money is the only pro that comes to your mind,
then you
let's
should reevaluate.
pause a little bit.
I think, actually, I know at
wanna
some
check it
point,
out?
we'll do another video about money and the positives and negatives of having money. But
We have to learn more about
yeah,
that.
exactly. This video is more specifically on you and your job, your work environment, what you're willing to deal with and not.
And being that okay, being your own, it's okay to leave. Like, I'm not less of a person because I'm leaving this job.
Exactly.
And it's okay to
Exactly.
take yourself out of that atmosphere and yes, you have made friends, and yes, you've made all these memories with this business, but is it worth that feeling of being less than the person right next to you? Is it worth that feeling of doing your best and not being acknowledged for doing your best?
Yes.
You have to question those things, and if it's not, it's okay. It's okay to step out of that comfort zone of being in this job for 6 months, a year, whatever it may
10
be.
years. I don't care how long you've been in your job. If you're feeling legitimately unhappy, you really need to decide if moving on from that job would be a good decision, because to be honest, a lot of people I know are not happy in their jobs. Like,
And that's one of their biggest, like, stressors in life.
yeah.
Whether right now it's different. Right now everyone's home, but when everything goes back to normal or prior to, you're in the same environment with the same people. You are spending most of your days with those people and in that environment, and you have to come to a point where, is your time worth being there?
Is the time you're
Yes.
putting into your
It
job
was so easy.
worth it? Is the time you're putting into your job worth it? Because, and that's a really like intense
general
question.
statement.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
an intense
general.
question for everything that you do. So
Yeah.
great, you're getting promotions. Are you growing as an individual? Are you appreciated? Are you respected? If money is the only thing that's keeping you at your job, again, this is just our opinion. If money's the only thing keeping you at your job, I don't think that is the right job for you. It took me 8 years to find a job that I am actually happy in. That's insane. That's like actually insane to think about. So don't make the same mistake I did. Don't stay in a job because it's what you know, it's what you're comfortable with. Because guess what? 8 years goes like that, and then you're wasting away.
It's never a waste. You
It's
know,
not a
here I
waste.
am.
You're right. I have learned a lot. This is why I love her so much. I have learned a lot from those jobs.
It's always an experience.
Exactly.
And whether the experience is like heart aching and physically aching, you're always getting something out of it. But there comes a point where how much more can you take as a person? It's just a part of just prioritizing your life and realizing that money will always come and go, and you may be making as much money as you want presently, but if you ever want to progress as a person, you have to leave that industry or expect more from that industry. And if they can't give it to you, that's okay, but you're so much bigger than that. And I think confidence comes into that realm, personally speaking. Like, I've been a babysitter since I was 15, 16?
Yeah.
I've been that's like 5+ years. And from the beginning, I was super conservative over the things I thought and what I expected. And as I'm growing older and older, I turn 22 next month, I expect things, and I know that's okay, because as a person, I should expect respect and to be appreciated, because I'm putting my time that is just as precious as theirs into their business.
Yeah, it is.
And that's okay. It's okay to have those expectations, and you should never label yourself as asking too much or feeling like you're unworthy of those things, because you're so much more than those things.
So I strongly suggest, parentheses implore, that you reach out to us, and if you are in this realm of being in between a job right now, you don't know if you're in or out, you don't know what you want to do, reach out to us.
Or if you have no job.
Or if you have no job.
Because I don't have a job. People don't have jobs.
A lot of people, well, that's a whole nother thing. A lot of people don't have jobs right now.
And you don't know where
Thank you for bringing that up. This is really important. A lot of people might have lost your job. This is a great time to start doing your research to maybe find a new industry that you want to get involved in.
that you've always thought about getting involved in.
Now would be the time to do it, especially if you've lost your job or you have more free time, they cut your hours, whatever it is. Now would be the time to maybe explore those other opportunities that you never thought you could get involved in. We just want you to have that confidence with these next decisions you're going
And
to
if
make.
we have to be your push, I'm totally
I will
fine with
push
that.
you. So we will push you. And we are here to help whoever needs it, whoever just wants to talk about it, any situation they're dealing with. This video is about jobs and leaving them and getting the proper work environment.
having that good mentality and like jump starting yourself into something new, or you don't even want to know, you don't even know if you want to leave that job, but you now are realizing that you need to express boundaries and what you're expecting on your end, because just like you're upper, they're expecting, and so should you.
It's like as we speak, I think of more and more things. Okay,
No.
last thing I promise. This is the last thing I promise.
We're too much.
You may be in a position where you're not happy with your job. You may not necessarily need to just leave that job. I think it's important for you to try to make the best of it. And what I mean by that is you need to express to your superiors that these are the things you need.
Moving forward.
This is what you need.
Period.
Moving forward. And if they cannot, adhere to those things, because I've actually tried that. I've had sit downs with my superiors and said, this is what's upsetting me. I'd like this.
You feel a discomfort doing that, and you feel like they're gonna reject it.
Then you shouldn't be there in the first place.
Yeah.
You should be able to have
And
a
it's okay.
work
you still
relationship
go into,
like
but
that.
you still go into it. That doesn't stop you from doing it. It's just if you get that intuition feeling of like, okay, I know I'm gonna say something, and I already know the type of person they are, and that's okay. That means you should be stepping out of your position. That's just my opinion.
I think you should still have that conversation with your superior, regardless, even if you think they're going to act a certain way. And guess what? If they do, great, you're right. You're right, you leave the job.
A little.
But you talk to them and they actually listen to you and make changes. Then you'll be like, wow, I was wrong. I misjudged this person. Either way, it's a win-win for you. You're either going to leave the job or you're going to have a better work environment within that job following. So we just want you guys to be happy. Everybody deserves to be. But you got to do the best on your part. You got to have that confidence to make these decisions
You
moving
create
forward.
your happiness.
Exactly. You create it.
Period.
Nobody else does.
Period.
Love, peace, and chicken grease,
And
guys.
thank you for all the love, and we appreciate it with full gratitude what you guys are doing and supporting us.
We really do. Thank you for all the support, guys. Till next time.
Stay sane.